The number 60 of Ron Beauchamp Jr. out of Windsor in the Mopar Mobil 1 Dodge has come to a stop just out coming up the hill out of turn 3 on the approach to turn 5. It's brought out a yellow flag as we join Todd.
In pit lane with Anthony Simone, who retired just a couple of laps ago. Anthony, you made the bold move to get around DJ Kennington, but it may have been the bold move that broke something in the back of the car.
Yeah, I got into turn 3 there, hit the brakes, and the car shot to the right. Not sure just what happened, but something happened. Shot the car to the right and hit the wall, broke the third link upright, so we're done.
Unfortunate. This is a team that seemed to be moving in the right direction. You had a good finish at St. Eustache and seemed to be charging in this one.
Yeah, we were 4th. We had something for DJ for sure. I don't know if we had something for the 84 and the 27, but this team's definitely doing the right thing. We just got to get some better finishes, some luck on our side. We'll be fine.
Good luck next week at Edmonton.
Thank you.
Anthony Simone from Holland Landing, Ontario, the 30-year-old. And is that what you were talking about earlier, Ron, about under-braking and that bit of the wheel hop?
Yeah, it looks like the rear locked up and turned the car sideways into the wall. And on a street circuit, there is just no forgiveness. If the edge of the racetrack is concrete.
Derek White also down pit lane there, the native of Sun Peaks, BC, and it looks like the hood up on that one.
They're still trying, and hey, just when you didn't think the tow truck would arrive, look, he's there to pick up Ron Beauchamp Jr. It's the Jumpstart 100 from Exhibition Place in Toronto. Ron Beauchamp Jr., the 1998 CASCAR East champion, becomes our 3rd retirement, Todd.
Yes, it looks like it. He did manage to get the car going to the surprise of the crew who have gone down to pit lane to greet him. They believe that they had snapped the transmission. They had problems yesterday during practice and qualifying. They had too much rear brake in the car. They made the adjustment. They had problems with the brake lines. Ron said that to the team that he thought he was having problems with the rear brakes and was using the transmission to help slow the car up a little bit and thought he may have broken the transmission. However, he is rolling again. They're going to go underneath and see if they can get the problem diagnosed. They've got a new drive shaft out. I think that may be part of the issue, but he will be here for a while before they can get him back out, and I'm not sure that they can yet.
And there's your used car parts right there. How did you approach it going in? Did you ever use the gears that way to slow it down, or what did you do?
No, because the damage is laying on the racetrack there. Drive shaft. Well, we've seen it a few times already. That it's just a struggle coming down the lakeshore into turn 3 and being able to get from the gear you have to the gear you need without locking the rear brakes and or locking the rear tires. It's a problem.
On board with DJ Kennington, who is currently running in 3rd place. Ranger Fitzpatrick continue to run 1-2.
Let me just finish the thought on how you try to avoid that dreaded axle hop. And you need to be able to match the RPM from the gear you have to the gear you need. And the way you do that is clutch in, kick the throttle. You got to boost the RPM because the RPM is higher at the next gear down. And that, I think, some of the trouble is not being able to manage that.
We continue under the caution as Ranger continues to lead with Fitzpatrick. We talked earlier, Dave, about just how dominant these two have been on road courses. Look at their career wins compared to their road wins, and you can see now Ranger and Fitzpatrick, they just love whatever street course, road course it happens to be.
It really doesn't matter where we are. It's really these two faces who are at the front of the field. Andrew Ranger, JR Fitzpatrick have been swapping back and forth. As a matter of fact, it's JR Fitzpatrick who has won the last 2 road course races. If we look back to last year, Montreal in 09, JR Fitzpatrick beat out Andrew Ranger in that race. And of course, you mentioned earlier, if you add Jason Bowles into that mix as well, those 3 drivers have a total of 14 wins in the NASCAR K&N Series East and West, plus the NASCAR Canadian Tire Series.
And for Ranger, when you think about it, I mean, if he should go on to win this today, what a percentage that is. He would pick up his 10th career win in 40 starts in the NASCAR Canadian Tire Series. As the cars make their way around again now, we're going to take green here as we look for the pace car to enter pit lane, and it'll be the choice of Ranger of which line he wants, inside or outside, and he took inside line to start.
And double up restarts always in the NASCAR Canadian Tire Series, the entire field 2x2.
Ranger. Fitzpatrick, left, right, green flag from starter Sean Gibbs, and we're racing again. The Jumpstart 100 here in Toronto. And Kennington looking to get inside and under Fitzpatrick.
So Dumoulin ducked way to the inside. He almost rubbed the inside wall going into corner number 1, but he found the hole to get back in. Luckily, no carnage once again.
Boy, look at that green car of Robin Buck and all the pressure that he's putting on Bowles. Again, under braking and going into turn 3. Once again, it's Ranger holding off Fitzpatrick. Bowles looking inside. Buck right on the tail of Bowles with Mix right behind.
Harry Mix gave him a quick shot in the bumper in the middle of turn 3.
Now, with what JR Fitzpatrick is doing to Andrew Ranger down the main straightaway, down Lakeshore Drive, going to the outside, does he have a chance?
Oh, he gave him a little push.
Oh, boys. Does he have a chance at making that stick on the outside?
Well, he did, but that's right now we're seeing on the restarts, similar to the initial start, Andrew struggling to get grip to be able to pull away. Of the 28 cars still running, he was the least happy when the pace car came out. He's got his hands full with JR Fitzpatrick here for at least 2 or 3 laps.
As they come through turn 10, through turn 11, and back onto the front straight, the Prince's Boulevard, which leads down to the Prince's Gate here at Exhibition Place.
And we've said it before, these two drivers, Andrew Ranger and JR Fitzpatrick, aren't really the best of friends. They really don't shy away from getting into each other. And
didn't really see that in turn 6, did we?
Exactly. But that'll go on all race long if they're near each other for sure.
Well, JR could have really continued on and turned him right around.
Look at Buck in the green car, looking inside. Bowles a little bit loose under braking. Has he got him? Bowles will try and squeeze him. Buck is staying with right with him.
They're going to run out of road. Drivers left into turn 4. Bowles still has the advantage into turn 5.
Boy, Robin Buck out of Campbellville. My goodness, I remember covering him in the Atlantic Series back in the early 90s.
You really can't be polite on a street course, can you? You really have to be a bully.
Well, and what you saw, Robin's now lost some momentum with that, duking it out with Jason Bowles. Now he's got his hands full from behind.
This Schick Hydro Chevy, the 84 of JR Fitzpatrick, has got Caitlin Johnson in the 01 duck for pit lane in the Pizza Dodge, but it looks like he might be the faster of the 2 leader cars.
Into turn 1. Driving defensively already, do you think, Andrew Ranger?
We're about to see. Exiting turn 2. This is where JR gets a really good exit. He's able to get to the throttle into 3rd gear. Got a really good run down the lakeshore here. He's going to make an attempt. Andrew has protected the inside. You can see the back end dancing around over the bumps. Good job that time. And the field starts to string out a little bit.
Oh, Buck.
Here we go.
Mix. Followed by Trevor Siebert. So you have a lot of road racing experience in those first 6 and 7.
A little bit surprised to see the 22 Canadian Tire Dodge of Scott Steckley back in 11th position. Of course, the 2008 champion in the NASCAR Canadian Tire Series. And he was hoping for big things here in Toronto as well. Again, just couldn't get that forward grip through practice and qualifying.
Well, you know, Steckley, you mentioned, won that championship in 08 when he had just that wonderful year. But since then, he's only had 2 wins in 18 races.
Yeah, he has struggled a little bit on both the road courses and the ovals, but he has shown signs of speed.
Scott Steckley, who teammates with Mark Dilley, was 4th at Mosport, Todd.
Scott Steckley has been struggling to get the speed, as you guys have detailed through this weekend. Said the track is extremely slippery. Said he wasn't sure how many other drivers had found that. Everybody's been talking about the bumps all weekend long, but he was finding this track very slick. If the track is slick, it makes it hard to get the power down and get the forward grip necessary to generate speed. But that's been Scott's problem all week. He's been no better than touching the top 10.
As we were riding along there with our points leader, DJ Kennington, Steckley coming into this race currently in 3rd.
And Kennington not getting that gap opening up in front of him. The top 2 cars not getting that far ahead of him in this run. So Kennington may have found something a little special.